Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. There's only been a couple updates for the DC Extended Universe, but since this is Saturday, I'm just going to talk freely about some things that have been floating around on Twitter. The first of all is the Justice League, or should I say the Josstice League sales seems to be going down. Seems to be dead, in fact. Now, this week on June 1st, which was actually yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes. Yesterday, Variety reported that Black Panther continues reign atop DVD Blu-ray disc sales charts. But if you scroll all the way down to the top 20 NPD video scan first alert chart for the week ended in May 26th of 18. You see number one is Black Panther, Red Sparrow, Game Night, 50 Shades Freed, The Greatest Showman. That's amazing. Greatest Showman is still up there. That is an awesome movie, by the way. I love it. I bought the soundtrack for that. The 1570 Paris, Last Jedi, Deadpool even, okay? So it goes all the way down. And number 20, below Spider-Man Homecoming, which came out a long time ago. Justice League. Yeah. Below Maze Runner, below Rick and Morty, below the Jurassic Park collection. Oh my god, below the first Deadpool, and I think because the sequel spun some sales for that. But all the way down to the bottom, number 20 is Justice League. Yes, on the bright side, you can say, hey, it's it's number 20. But I wanted to share this article. Fans cited, Bam Smack Pow. He shared it with, he tagged me on it from Skylar Sneathen. He did a little article, and you can go ahead and check it out. I'll put it in my description below. But he talks a little bit about how the film debuted at number one in its first week of release. Yet, sold over 300,000 DVDs, bringing 5.5 million. Blu-rays sold 900,000 copies, which brings it over 24.5. So at about $30 million in revenue. And, in comparison, the first week of sales for other DCEU sales, Batman v Superman made over 35, and other movies probably made a lot more than that as well. And then by the second week, it kind of only did about less than 40 million, while the other movies had done a lot more than that in the second week. So it had a tremendous drop. It was like a 78% drop in sales. And it continues to go from there. Now, I don't know if it's ever going to top the other sales. I like to add that Man of Steel was pretty high. Let me see here. You can all find this on all the numbers.com. Let me pull that up. Maybe I should have done that in advance. So total estimated domestic video sales is 37 million. That includes DVD and Blu-ray. I don't know if it includes digital at all on this. But this is during the week of the week of release. It's the sixth week. It's already at 30 something million. So I don't know how long that's going to hold, to be quite honest. If you look at other movies, let's look at Wonder Woman. In week 6, the same week, Wonder Woman did 48 million. Justice League at 37. So it's not pacing well with that. But what about Batman v Superman here? Week 6, it already did like 50 million. Oh, I forgot to count the DVD and the Blu-ray sales. So at that time, Wonder Woman also did a lot more than that because it had 40-something million for the Blu-ray and the DVD. And let's look at Man of Steel. Man of Steel. That did 111 million of all time. That's even better than Wonder Woman if you look at it. Week 6, DVD was 29 plus 50. Holy cow, that is a lot. So in comparison, between all the different week 6s, Justice League is just not cutting it. I mean, it's really it's kind of bad, and as plus the new movies are coming out, Black Panther and all these movies, and look how it's like number 20. It can't even beat like Spider-Man and Maze Runner and the Jurassic Park collection. Amazingly, I don't know. You know, I think if the rumors are true and Warner Brothers is waiting for Justice League DVD or the Justice League DVD Blu-rays to die down, well, this is it. It's dying down now. So could we be expecting to hear some type of news? I mean, it's dying down pretty quickly, so just in time for San Diego Comic-Con. So hopefully we'll see what happens with that. It's sad to see that this movie is dying on the grapevine, but you know, if it means that we'll get the Snyder Cut, then that's a great thing. Although another side, the people are saying that, well, it has to make money in order to get another cut. There could be truth to that as well. But this is what we're championing right now, is that if they want to make more money, they release that cut, the Snyder's Cut, and then maybe they can make a lot more money with it. We'll see if that comes out true, if all the rumors are true that they're waiting for this current cut to die down, because this is the cut that they put out. And if that's true, then well, we may see the Snyder Cut, maybe. So, but it depends on Warner Brothers, and I've said that already. What's the state of that? Like if they're on board or not. A lot of people are calling Walter Hamada the Lord and Savior. They finally updated his profile on Warner Brothers page, and this is it. Walter Hamada, president of DC-based film production, Warner Brothers Pictures. Walter Hamada is president, DC-based film production, Warner Brothers Pictures. In this role, he oversees Warner Bros. Pictures' slate of films based on superheroes and supervillains from DC, as well as titles based on other characters and stories also licensed from DC, including its Vertigo and Mad magazine imprints. Hamada draws upon resources from across both Warner Bros. Pictures and New Line Cinema and works closely with Geoff Johns, president and chief creative officer, DC Entertainment. Works closely with Geoff Johns. Okay, so prior to his current role, Hamada served as executive vice president, production at New Line Cinema, having joined the company in 2007 as senior vice president, production. So among the films, he worked on all these different horror movies: Friday the 13th, Final Destination, Nightmare on Elm Street, Conjuring, Conjuring 2, Annabelle Creation, and of course It, which is the highest grossing horror film of all time. So that's his little career there. He's been doing it forever. Might add, really behind the scenes, because this is literally, I don't know, not many people have heard about Walter Hamada. He doesn't come out like Kevin Tsujihara did, or Toby Emmerich. He's pretty much behind in the background, and the quality of the films just shows his reputation. So I think that's a great thing to see, great thing to know about, that judging from whether you feel right about the Friday the 13th, Final Destination, or Nightmare on Elm Street, but he has a decade-long tenure with all those different films. But his recent successes: Conjuring, Conjuring 2, Annabelle Creation, It. You know, I think this guy knows how to make low budget, not really low budget, but you know, lower budget than most blockbuster films, and driving high revenue, high out of those, high gross profits out of those because of a lower budget. So I think the business side of him will work very well with this DC Extended Universe. He's going to be challenged with a lot of these special effects driven type material, but I think he'll be able to do it and work with it. And you know, Geoff Johns, he is DC Entertainment after all, so of course they're going to have to utilize him for advisement, and he knows his stuff. You know, and I think he's more happier, and I think he'll be more happier in the streaming show DC Universe, because that's where he can actually capitalize all his ideas and put it to work, and he can freely reign in that area. But I think the movie universe is a whole different animal, but they still need to utilize some of his a lot of his knowledge about the DC Entertainment, so they'll be used as an advisory role instead of a overseer per se. He's not a Kevin Feige. He's like a Greg Berlanti now in the CW universe, you know. So, or he's in, you know, Perlmutter in that type of universe. So and that's okay. That's how it works out. And I think the DC Universe, DCEU, which I'm still going to call it DCEU or DC Films, and the stream service will be DCU. So, I mean, I hope everything's working together. All the pieces of the puzzle are going to put together, and for most of all, I hope Walter Hamada sees potential in Zack Snyder and utilize him. And he is being produced. He's producing some other future DCEU movies, which includes Wonder Woman 2. I don't know if he's. I think he is a producer of Aquaman 2. I could be wrong. Let's see. Let's see if he is. Say. I know every time I press this, it shakes the camera. Yes. I'm going to utilize this. I'm going to say this is Saturday, so I get to do this kind of stuff. And then just freely talk and research things at the same time. But I just want to know if he's even part of the Aquaman. Well, okay, so he is an executive producer. That includes Geoff Johns and John Berg, though, too. So he is an executive producer for Aquaman as well. Zack Snyder, I'm talking about, executive producer. And, you know, like I said before, the EP credit could just be a vanity credit just to give them credit where credit's due. It's not necessarily they're actually involved in any shape or form. It's also part of the business side of things, as opposed to when he was for Wonder Woman, he was more involved. He advised in how to do the action sequences and stuff for Patty Jenkins, where Patty Jenkins asked him how to do this and that. So, or I don't know, he was on set as you see him in the World War I garb in the background, so he may have done a little bit more advice for that. He also wrote part of that, so that's interesting in itself. Of course, Aquaman, Geoff Johns and James Wan wrote the story for it, so we'll see a little bit of what Geoff Johns has to do with knowledge of the DC Extended Universe, which I say it's okay because he is DC, so having him throw in things that make it work for in the comics, little tidbits about, you know, the character's father or character motivations and stuff like that. That's a type of person you need within your production team. Not necessarily he should be calling the shots, and I think that's what's happening here. Patty Jenkins will be calling the shots for her own movie. David Sandberg will be calling shots for his movie. James Wan's calling shots for his movie. But, you know, Geoff Johns will be helping in with, well, that's how you spell Shazam. You know, things, not that just that simple, but it's, you know, this different mythology there that they could utilize, or they can ask him what, who's this relationship with this, and, you know, things like that could utilize Geoff Johns in that a smaller capacity. What do I want to check? I wanted to check Shazam. Now Shazam is New Line Cinema. In all intents and purposes, so that is actually a different production company from let's see, writing credits. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. So okay, so well, this is the one with Dwayne Johnson produced, but because this is part of New Line Cinema. But I am interested here. I do not see a writing credit for Geoff Johns at all, and that is interesting. Am I looking at it right? I'm seeing writing credits in order: C.C. Beck, Henry Gayden, Darren Lemke, and Bill Parker. Now I remember seen that Instagram picture of Geoff Johns visiting Shazam. So it could be that he only visited just to check it out, and he's not actually involved in any type of capacity for Shazam. I could be wrong. I mean, he could be credited here somewhere in this long list. I'm checking IMDb right now. But it looks like he's not even part of it. He's not. He may have just been a really just an advisory role, maybe to check up on what David F. Sandberg's doing and if everything is licensed correctly, you know, in terms of DC. So that is interesting. So Geoff Johns is writing involved with Aquaman, writing involved with Wonder Woman 2. Shazam is by New Line Cinema, so he has no. He has no credit here. Neither does Zack Snyder or anybody else. So Shazam's going to be interesting. That's going to be almost a completely different animal. And it is going to be. It's more to be the family-friendly version of the universe. So that's interesting itself. But wow, I'm surprised. I thought he's going to be at least a writer or something on this. So, well, that's interesting. But, yeah, anyway, one last thing for this is that there was a tweet going around, and this could be nothing at all, or it could be something after all. But there is this picture, and I'll be interested if my video gets taken down because of this picture, then I know it's real. But this is a picture, or it's a small clip of Ascendant Ancient, and with the watermark, the noticeable watermark of Ascendant Ancient, where it's about Justice League, all the deleted scenes for Justice League. But this seems to look like looks like Darkseid. I mean, it's a weird animated, looks like something from N64 days, Darkseid. And I want to say it's fake. I want to say it's fake, that anybody could just put a watermark on top of something, and it just looks very, generic and like an N64 type of thing. But, well, if these turns true and my video gets deleted, and I'm gonna be happy if it gets deleted, because if it gets deleted because of I'm getting a DMC or whatever, then that means that thing is real. And oh my God, if that's real, like holy there, that's Darkseid, like Darkseid, right? Like they were gonna make him. He wasn't just a storyboard. He was actually there in some type of capacity, and if that's true, man, that's just crazy stuff. But that's only if it doesn't get deleted, then whatever. That's a great, interesting way to see Darkseid there with the fiery eyes and stuff. It looks like Darkseid, Omega beams, man. But I don't know. What's gonna go on with that? Darkseid was supposed to be in the Zack Snyder Justice League. Apparently, from there was a woman who talked about, or there was a list that Kevin Smith read off in his show, and this woman verified this. Yeah, Darkseid's supposed to be there, and we also had some other info from other people who said Darkseid was also there as well. So that's really, oh man, that is such a shame. But that'd be cool if it was real. If it's real, I'm not gonna be like embarrassed or anything that I said it looked fake, because I'd be super stoked and happy if it was real. Okay, that's what I have to say about that. Anyway, but that's that. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that's real? I mean, look it up. I mean, I can't. I feel bad. I don't want to play the clip here. I'll put a picture on, but I think they could, if it turns out real, they could delete it, like how I did. I had that Lex Luthor shot that Joss Whedon did. It was like a behind the scenes thing, and that whole video was deleted. Yeah. Even Dave's video was deleted for that. So I'm kind of worried, but I'm gonna put it up there to see if it gets deleted, and if it does, then I know it's probably real. Okay, very last thing. There's a new release, the Snyder Cut fan event that's coming up. This is hosted by Fiona this time. Last time it was Dr. Chris and Vinalda. 7, and now it's going to be Fiona. She's going to put this out. It looks similar to the last one with a little map here. This is what it says. It says, "Hey DCEU fans, the 5th anniversary of one of the greatest superhero films of all time, Man of Steel, is coming up on June 12th, and I'm inviting all of us to celebrate the film that started all with the hashtag release the Snyder Cut fan event to participate. Show your love by posting a picture of your DCEU films collection. This could include, but is not limited to, DVDs, Blu-rays, posters, action figures, memorabilia, CDs, and even digital copies. Do this wherever you are in the world at the time shown. Include the hashtags to release the Snyder Cut, hashtag DC EU fan." I think I might be missing something on the band. Hashtag I'm a DC fan, and hashtag I love Snyder's DC characters. Happy Man of Steel Day. So, and the time is there. Of course, me in Hawaii. I'm probably going to be with the Los Angeles crew. So that's coming up on June 12th, Man of Steel. Now, her idea was that, there's people trying to distinct us by saying that the Snyder Cut fans are not DC fans and vice versa. So I think she wants to try to bring us together in a way. If you're a Snyder fan and a DC fan, show your support, and you're saying that you're not just a Snyder fan, you're also a huge DC fan and clearly understand DC enough, and also like Snyder's work. So this is what she's trying to do with that. Yeah, June 12th, man. It'll be crazy. June 12th. I don't think I'm going to be doing a trip. Last time I had to go on a trip, but I was able to, retweet as much as I could before I got on the plane. June 12th. That's pretty soon. That's like in 2 weeks. So that's coming up. June 12th. Put that on your calendars if you want to do that. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut again, a new fan event. And I don't think it's just to Twitter. I think anything. It could be Vero, it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram if you want. Anything that you so choose. So let's see what happens with that. Really excited for that to come up and hopefully make some noise. Maybe we'll get it trending again like we did last time. We got that trending. Quite impressed to see that. And I mean, even Zack Snyder saying anything trends after a while, is like the voice of God, he put something on Vero. I'm gonna do the Fountainhead. It's just 2 words, the Fountainhead, and it blows up, good and bad, but it blows up anyway. It trends. He's able to make that trend. Shows the type of newsworthy he is. So imagine if the Snyder Cut actually does come out. That's going to be a huge eruption of tweets. It's explosion of happiness, crying or in the streets, I don't know. But hopefully that will happen. So we got to make this work. We got to make it happen. We can continue to show Warner Brother pictures that we want it. We really want to see the Snyder Cut, and just imagine what it could be. Just hearing all the stories about it being 3 hours. The cut we have in theaters is like 1 hour of Whedon, another hour of changed up, re-edited out of it's a completely different movie. Zack Snyder's cut. Snyder's cut is going to be like going back into the theaters or popping or however we're going to watch it, watching it for the first time once again. Watching it for the first time. That excitement when we were getting into the theaters to watch it. This is it. We're going to watch Josstice League. That's the same excitement for the Snyder Cut, because it's going to be a completely different experience. I promise. It's going to be a completely different experience, and it's going to be awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.